We're going to deposit all that water right here in the ditch. We're going to put that water where it belongs. So what we're going to do is we're going to run a French drain grid. We're going to have a line here, a line here, a line here, a line here, a line here. We're going to tighten up this area and we're going to gather up all this water. We got the 2 sprinkler boxes here, so we got all those mains. So we know we're going to run into a lot of sprinkler lines. So we're going to collect up all this water. These were the two areas of high collection for water. We got a little bit of slope here. Now if we collect all that water in the low points, it can't build up and backfeed and flood the rest of the area that used to hold water. Tape it up too, because when you get grass blades and bark in there that float, you want it to float down the line and not stick in the pipe. So tape it up so you don't lose your water volume. This inlet right here, this is a 6-inch grate. There's no other grate like it. It has more inlet than any other 6-inch grate. There's not even a close second to this. It's a distant second on the next best grate. But we have a higher flow. There's virtually nothing here. They did a beautiful job. We're going to get the heavy sediment to fall in the inline catch basin. Grabbing up all that bulk water is super important and super key. You can see how this is designed. This is on an angle on this end. This is on an angle on this end. The sediment's going to fall to the bottom. This is a true sediment trap. So basically, the inline catch basin is a sediment trap. The sediment settles to the middle of the inline catch basin. So it's super easy to clean. You just take this off, go ahead right in the middle. It all settles to the middle. Or take your shop vac, stick it down in the middle, suck it out. Super easy. That's French Drain Man's full throttle 6-inch grate. In its deepest spot, it's probably 5 inches. I like to put a line where it's the deepest. This is definitely the deepest right in here. There's not another catch basin or 6-inch grate on the market that's going to flow as much water as this setup will. All right, so the guys hooked that solid pipe up to the outdoor sump pump, and that's what that hole was that they had in the end. So always take the solid pipe and hook it up to your sump system. Those 1/2-inch inlets on the grate are going to take in all that water. And then this was really smart to tie this directly in. This is a really clean install. Nothing complicated about it. Keep it simple. I want to show you what the men did. So you never want to put a catch basin on a perforated pipe because you're going to get grass blades, bark, sediment. You're going to plug your perforations. You're going to ruin your French drain. So the guys went ahead and they installed a yard drain to grab the surface water because we have so much surface water here. You can see right there, they went ahead and they capped off this end of the catch basin, just put a plug in the perforated pipe so we don't fill it up with stone. Then right here, they taped this really good because we want to grab up all the water and we really don't want it leaking into the French drain system. We want to make sure that the debris that ends up going down in that catch basin can float out. So you don't want to lose your water pressure, your water volume, so you want to tape everything up. We're using French Drain Man's 6-inch. This is our full throttle 6-inch. Great, ridiculous. Look at all that inlet. That's insane. This homeowner's got beautiful property, and this is that one thing that's been just frustrating. You know, they have 3 dogs, and you can't come back here during the rainy season. This holds water. Super easy to get your yard back. So I don't recommend walking on these with high heels. We weren't looking for that kind of rating with that. We were going for flow. We wanted flow, and right here, look at this. Beautiful job. Taped it up real nice. Look at that. Real nice seal. Look at all that inlet. We opened that right up. It doesn't look it, but we're running a quad pack. Got Got 2 lines down there, and we got 2 lines up top. When you're building quad packs, the smaller stone is how you lock up all that tubing. Guys are right behind the men with sand. You can see how it's an assembly line. This is a well-oiled machine. These guys, hardcore. So you got someone dumping a stone, somebody leveling the stone out, somebody pinning the fabric. You got somebody putting the sand down. You got somebody putting the sod back. is a giant horizontal dry well. If a power outage occurs, this system will hold thousands of gallons of water, and I doubt they're ever going to see any surface water. Once the power is restored, the pump will turn on automatically and it'll do its job. Beautiful job here. We're catching the leaves so we don't clog our system. Any sediment that washes through is just going to fall here, get pumped right out. Running the discharge to the ditch. We're going to take care of this water problem once and for all. We had a flooded backyard. And what we did is we put in a French drain grid. We ran a lot of drain. We ran a yard drain and a French drain. And we got a 1/3 horsepower. That's what we got. We don't have check valves, so we got to fill the line. This is normal. What you see is normal. The line's filling. We're pumping. We got an 1.5 inch line that goes into a 4-inch line. We don't want any erosion, so we mellow out the flow of water. You can see how gentle it is out of a 4-inch line. That's a 1/3 horsepower pump.
thing right here.
Yeah.
Ahorita la cortamos con el sol bien del lado, ¿no? Sí, ahorita lo voy a cortar así por lo pronto. It's gonna be like this. Like a 45.
right, so you can see we got a lot of high ground, you know, and then all the cement is pitched away. That's code, always code. Stormwater can't go in a pool. It's a health violation. So we know that we have sheet water coming off the concrete. We have this green belt that's higher and it's saturated. We need to put a French drain around the whole pool. See, the old system was not done right. Look how the old system is coming up, guys. Look at this. We got to grab that channel drain. So we want to take that water, put it in our system. Look at that. No wonder it's not working. So we're going to run the discharge 60 feet out into a ditch back here. So it's 120 feet of French drain. And then you got a 60-foot discharge. And you're going to have to probably hand dig this last stretch to get it to the ditch. Try to do the same thing. You know, French drain, come around, tie it into the same discharge. You know, we got to grab water here. You know, grab the water here. You know, we'll come all the way up. We'll come all the way up right here. Now this area here, this is a problem area. Water pools in here. So this area is one of the bigger reasons why we're here, guys. You can see all the dirt that just ends up washed on the cement from this. This just fills up with water, and then it just finally overflows on the concrete. So we're going to put a small micro bad seed in here, just a little sump system. We can put the sump system here and run an open French drain in here. So we have a bunch of water coming off the patio above, running down the staircase. There's even some roof runoff that gets caught up in here, and it floods right in here. We got a channel drain that comes in here too. A lot of water builds up right here. We're putting in one of our bad seeds. It's our micro bad seed for the north. It's got a heater in it. I'll show you when they have it all assembled what that looks like. Got the two French drain pipes on the bottom. Right here's our discharge line for our sump system. 1.5" flex PVC schedule 40 into our stubbed hard pipe, 1.5". That's on that plug that goes in the corrugated pipe. We sell those in our online store. The men are 16 inches deep. I get that question asked all the time. We got the one solid pipe. For the sump pump system on top, we got two perforated pipes on the bottom. We have all this high ground, all this water is coming this way. And if you didn't know this, it's code that your cement has to pitch away. It's a health hazard to have stormwater go in a pool. So we have all this water in high concentration right here. Look at that, two French drain pipes on the bottom, two perforated pipes on the bottom, solid pipe on top. Men are doing a beautiful job. We got high ground all the way around. All this water is coming into the pool yard. Then the cement's all coming to the edge. It's all pitched to the edge. So right here, this is that pinch point where we have all this water in high concentration. We're grabbing it up right at the source. Men did a beautiful job. This is a really, really nice job. On your perforated pipe, you do not have to tape your couplers. We connected 2 perforated pipes down here. You don't need tape. You're trying to let as much water into the system as you possibly can, so you're not trying to tape it up to seal it. And if you use our external to external coupler, there's not a stronger connection for corrugated pipe. Right here, we tied the French drain in, going straight off. We had to tee it. That's the design. We're teed. Now, we're flowing a lot of bulk water from the downspout, from the channel drains, from the outdoor sump pump. So that we have into a Y, so that we can keep that going in the direction of flow. We have a Y that goes into a Y. You guys seen us do this before. So the bottom Y is for the French drain system. The top Y is for the solid pipe. That's for the channel drain, and that's for the roof runoff system, and that's for the sump pump system. The men are adding a clean out. The sump pump discharge line is going to dump right here. It's going to pick up some dirt. We're going to have some debris in this one because we're grabbing a lot of water up at the surface. So we want to have an inline sediment trap to catch all that dirt that comes off the high ground. There's a lot of dirt in these flower beds. It's just going to end up in the system. We know that. You want to put it soon. You want to put it soon. Right here, we have the 1.5 inches. The water's going to come shooting in here really hard, and then it's going to slow down, and that's where it's going to dump the debris. Where the men are putting that inline sediment trap is perfect. Textbook. The men are putting in our micro bad seed for the north. Just want them to show you the housing. So we put the heater in this side. We put the pump in this side. This is our micro bad seed for the north. The men went ahead and used the black covers for our sediment traps so they get lost in the shadows. This is going to be an open French drain, so that's not going to be in the grass. There used to be grass right up to the concrete. To help with this French drain's efficiency, the men are going with an open French drain. The men have the discharge line gradually going up. We do not have a check valve because when it turns off, we want the water that's in the line to go back. Here in the north, in Michigan, if you leave water in this line because you put a check valve in, it's going to freeze, it's going to split, and your system's going to fail. All right, we got several sediment traps. This one's on the downspout line. We got 2 perforated pipes on the bottom. They have holes in them. We got the solid pipe on top. We got the channel drain wide. So here's our downspout line. Here's our channel drain line, wide. That's a combo fitting. That's a Y with a 45. That's a combo fitting. Always put a sediment trap after a channel drain. So here we go, man. We got a sediment trap right here because we know that channel drain is going to be feeding all kinds of tree buds and just garbage. Guys did a beautiful job. Really nice system. This extra heavy-duty pipe is going to last the homeowner. Really nice. Beautiful. We always have our perforated pipe on the bottom and our solid pipe on top. We have our perforated pipe right now, discharging that way. We wide the two solid together. We went ahead and we used the T on the French drain system because this is a low flow application. It's not a high flow application. If it was a high flow application, we put a Y. Just go ahead and put a T. That's fine. Then we wide these two. They're going to be moving a lot of water. We got a sump pump system pumping in here. We got a roof runoff system. We got channel drain system all in this solid pipe. It's plumbed together on one discharge line that goes out to a ditch. There's kind of a ravine and a big ditch. Everything we build, we tell our homeowners, hey, it's going to last a lifetime. It's going to outlive us. So right here, we got our pump cord coming out of here. We got our heater cord coming out of here. You can see we got our micro bad seed for the north. Have our discharge line coming up out, running it on an angle. It goes underneath this concrete, right under here. Right here, we tie it into a 4-inch corrugated pipe that's solid. Over here, the men pounded a 2-inch piece of PVC Schedule 40. They pounded a 2-inch piece of PVC Schedule 40 under the walkway, and they went ahead and they used it as a sleeve, what's known in the industry as a raceway, to run their 1.5-inch flex pipe inside the center of that 2-inch Schedule 40. Beautiful job. Meticulous to detail. This homeowner is not going to have any more water problems, that's for sure. To build a quality French drain, you want to haul all the dirt away. Do not put any of the dirt back in. This came out really nice. This was 350 feet of French drain. It was a really big system.
We work in Michigan, here in the north where your discharge lines can freeze up. When given the option, always run it above ground. When you try to run it underground, you could end up with it freezing, and then when you have a thaw, it'll be froze up underground. So we were able to run this discharge line about 75 feet down this fence. It came out really nice.
We now have received 4 inches of rain. You can see how the grass blades are laying down, that the sump pump has been turning on through that 4 inches of rain. We did this a couple months ago, got a full video on it. We have a sump pump right here. We're lifting the water up on the fence, and we have a discharge line running all the way to the road. We didn't want it to freeze in the wintertime. It was too flat going out to the street, and the water collects at the end of the street. The pond's really bad. So I thought it would be best just to put this up on the fence. It'll always be able to turn on during a thaw, even when that street is flooded where the water puddles really deep over there. All right, there we go. There we go. All right, so the French drain works 24/7. So we had 4 inches of rain total here. And the yard is drying out. The French drain is pulling all the water from the subsurface. You can see why I didn't take the discharge to the curb. This is going to freeze in the winter. It's not going to be a safe environment for when people park and get out of their car or just walking. This will always end up holding water. If your discharge is low and the discharge end freezes, I've had it happen. I speak from experience when I tell you guys what to do. Here in the north, you've got to really be vigilant. The guys did such a nice job on this. All right, so we did 350 feet of French drain. We do have some downspouts tied into this too. I've been driving around, checking out our systems. It's been raining, and I finally got a break. I would have rather seen this one in a pouring rain too, like some of the others, but it did just quit raining. So look how beautiful this yard looks. When you don't have standing water anymore, you're going to have a healthier lawn. And you can see this is where the French drain is. This was the first house that we put the new 3x4 tops. Look at that, that's beautiful. Those are actually our first shots. They're called first shots. When you test the tool, it didn't have grain yet, so they're a little bit shiny. The tool's now been grained. But we wanted to make sure it was a perfect fit, everything was good. So we're grabbing up these big 3x4 downspouts. So we got a solid pipe, we got catch basins, we got a French drain running down the side of this house. Grass looks pretty good. We got an inline sediment trap on every single one of these downspouts. This is the only area that had a little bit of trouble as far as grass growing on top of the French drain. This was a big intersection right here. There was a lot of stone.
We were rained off this really big 350-foot French drain job, along with a few downspouts that all went to an outdoor sump pump. We put in our full frame, Screamin' Demon, with 4 feet of extra chamber. This is a really fun job. This is a really cool install. If you're a young contractor or DIYer and you need to do outdoor sump pump systems for drainage, this is the video for you. We're going to show every connection.
This homeowner had so much water in this yard. There was so much water around this play set. Remember, we built up a bunch of dirt right here. We're slightly bermed because there's a lot of water coming off the railroad tracks right here on the side of the home. Cal right now is throwing grass seed, and then we'll throw some straw over that grass seed and it'll just take off. So we're doing a sun and shade mix that we use. It's got bluegrass in it. It's got rye in it, so we got some grass that'll pop right away. There was a lot of water coming through off the railroad tracks. That grass seed turned out really nice. That was grass seed we put down with straw. All right, so I'm glad that I caught that thing when it was running for you. You can see how dry the yard is. Water's just running down the street. Street's now just starting to dry out. Like I said, the rain just quit right before I got here. But I wanted to get you guys some footage. That's after 4 inches of rain, 350 feet of French drain. All right, so the French drain works 24/7. So we had 4 inches of rain total here. And the yard is drying out. The French drain is pulling all the water from the subsurface.
Another reason why we did not want to use a half-horse pump was the water would have came out so violent over here. So we used a 1/3 horse. That's all we needed. We weren't lifting the water that high.
You can see we have a lot of slope, a lot of pitch. We're not asking a lot from this 1/3 horsepower pump.
If you enjoyed this video and you found any of this information helpful, give us a thumbs up. It supports the channel. If you have any questions regarding this installation, leave them in the comments section. I'm your host, Robert Sherwood, and until that next video.
We put in an outdoor sump pump system to take care of the water that's shedding off a deck and off a back patio. This yard was swampy. This is a forced walkout. Look at that. That is just absolutely beautiful. The work that the men did here. They put down all that 1.5 inch cobblestone for erosion control. The other pipe that you see is for a downspout. This just goes off and it just dissipates into a woods. The men did a great job clearing out vegetation. This has been in a couple of months. What a beautiful job. They got critter guards in here so no rodents can build nests during the drought season. This has been running. We've had a lot of rain, a lot of thunderstorms. This has been a really good test for all of our systems. I'm doing a wellness check on all of our systems because now we're at 4 inches of rain. This is a lot of rain for Michigan. We build all of our systems to withstand hurricanes. If you're building these systems in Florida, you're going to want to build them the way we do. We did an open French drain around this outdoor living space. I have the full video to the full install.
Welcome to the French Drain Man channel. I'm your host, Robert Sherwood. We have a flat backyard with no slope. So many times, builders and developers sell lots for walkout basements. They get a premium when they charge you for a walkout lot. The unfortunate part is so many walkout basements are built on lots that maybe should not have been a walkout. So we have a sump pump system with a lot of added chamber, and we're really deep. I'm going to take you through this system, explain to you everything, including how to hook up that outdoor sump pump system and how it all goes together.
Water was trapped between the sidewalk and the foundation of the home. This is a walkout basement. You have all the water running off the high ground, and it just laid here behind this house.
We're running 2 French drains, one along the home and one following this hardscape. There was a lot of slope put on this system. We used our laser transit so that we can make sure the bottom of this trench has slope going all the way to the other side of the yard to the outdoor sump pump system.
We have drain tile both sides of the walk, under the walk, around this outdoor living space. This is a forced walkout. This is a cheater patio. Let me show you what I mean. Right here. Most cheater patios, this whole level would be at the basement floor level, and then it would be angled away, and then there would be some sort of retainment. That's usually how we do forced walkouts when we build our cheater patios. So there is a drain right here. When the cement guys did the work, they went ahead and put a drain in there. It wasn't needed. You can see there really isn't any water to speak of finding its way down there. So we have the downspout, and the downspout line runs out to the woods. That's why there's 2 pipes out there. We have an outdoor sump pump system. We did not do the electrical here. The homeowner did that himself. the water just lay trapped in this flat yard. It went nowhere. So we built an outdoor sump pump system to collect all that water, to dry it out. Homeowner was telling me when I walked back here, he seen me walking back here, he said, man, that works great. We're so happy.
The generator.
Okay.
And immediately picked up. We can go and see it. It's working great.
All right, great. You're happy?
Yeah. I hope it works when at freezing temperatures when the ground is frozen.
No problem. We got a heater in there.
Yes.
You're all set.
Even if the ground is frozen, the water will still get through it, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, thank you. This was a real problem for him. He was trying to fix it himself. He was looking into fixing it himself. They had done quite a bit of work. They filled in a lot of low points. They thought bringing more dirt in was going to solve it. It didn't. You know, it made it worse, actually. Just another quality job done by the French Drainman team. This is why we always have 3 months minimum of work out in front of us right here. Results like this. Look at this non-permeable surface. All the water's hitting this non-permeable, concrete, just running off. This used to be just a muddy, swampy mess. No slope. Couldn't get it out of here. Guys did a really nice job. So we're grabbing up all the water, all the sheet water that's coming off the deck, coming off the roof. Rooftop is a non-permeable surface. The deck is same thing. You're going to have all the water shedding right here to the drip line of the deck and where the concrete ends. We have a massive collection system in here.
This is a really big French drain system. The type of French drain that we're going to build is an open French drain. What an open French drain is, it's when you don't grow grass over top of it. We're going to have a fully encapsulated French drain system, and we are going to protect it with non-woven geotextile filter fabric that has been double punched. And then we're going to put more stone on top of the fabric. Nothing takes in water faster than an open French drain.
We just had close to 4 inches of rain. It's nice and clean. I was just checking for leaves. This time of year we typically don't see too much debris in our leaf filters. So the discharge line ran out to the woods. We're able to lift all that water, pick up all that water, take it way out here. So to cut down on erosion, now you can see the guys did such a nice job. This is beautiful work. Such nice work. They had to clear a lot of vegetation. Look at this. They put down a bunch of riprap, so this cuts down on erosion. Riprap is just any large stone, really.
Always go to 4-inch pipe at the end of your discharge line. Go from 1.5 inch or 2-inch to a 4-inch pipe. It just mellows the water right out. The water's not angry, it's not aggressive, it's not going to cause erosion.
Look at that. That is just absolutely beautiful. The work that the men did here, they put down all that 1.5 inch cobblestone for erosion control.
We have 4 pipes, and we're still deep. We could have put 8 pipes in this trench. Right here, we're 4 pipes deep, and we filled that all with stone. We have really big round rock on this job. 1.5 inch round rock. This home has the large 3x4 gutter downspouts. They really are responsible for a lot of water. So we have our 3x4 leaf filter because we want to make sure we don't have any clogs. We have a solid pipe with a catch basin to catch the shingle gravel. And that's just for that downspout that's responsible for a lot of water across the back of the house. We have the perforated pipe for the French drain system. As I always talk about in all my videos, water has such a hard time finding its way through turf grass. You need a lot of slope to get water to drain through turf grass. Turf grass just hangs water up. Well, there's not a lot of slope. So what we're going to do is we're going to give the water a place to go. We're going to build this French drain. The water is going to fall right inside the French drain because it's so permeable, and it's going to go right to this outdoor sump pump system. We're then going to be able to lift the water up, and then at the surface, we'll have a discharge line that we can take out into the backwoods. This system grabs surface water and subsurface water around this home. Then it lifts it with a sump pump system, gets it almost up to grade, if you will, and then slopes it away into the woods. That's what an outdoor sump pump system does for you. We dewatered around this home. Nothing works faster at grabbing up surface water than an open French drain when you're building a French drain. The only way you're going to take in surface water as fast as you do with an open French drain is if you use catch basins. And we don't need catch basins because this is like having one giant channel drain around this outdoor living space and around the back of the house. Nothing's more permeable than an open French drain with large round on it. The water's going to fall right through. There's nothing to hang water up. No soil. No turf grass with a root mat. Nothing grabs up water like an open French drain. All right, so right here I'm going to show you all the connections, what the crew did, what the men did, and this is beautiful, by the way. So this one blue pipe you see coming out of the fabric, that's a solid downspout pipe that we were able to gravity drain. We don't want to put all that stress on the pump. And then we have another corrugated pipe where we hooked our discharge line up to. Never use small rock around your outdoor sump pump system. It'll find its way through these holes. Those inlets will take in the small rock, and it'll do damage to your sump pump. So always use that 1.5-inch rock, 1.5, 2-inch rock around your outdoor sump pump system. Now right here, look at this discharge line. Go to a 4-inch corrugated. That's really cool. We actually sell that in our online store. It makes it super easy for the DIYer to hook it up. Real quick run through here. All the perforated pipes are at the bottom, and they're just laying in the sump pump pit. Don't have to hook them up. We got one pipe for a gravity drain for the downspout. We have another pipe for the discharge for the outdoor sump pump system. When you use this technique from an 1.5-inch Schedule 40 to a 4-inch corrugated pipe, you have to be going downhill. The 4-inch pipe displaces way too much water. You don't need a lot of slope when you go to a 4-inch pipe with your discharge line. It displaces so much area that it's not going to hold up the water if you don't have very much slope. And this is only a 1/3 horsepower sump pump, which we use for 90% of our installs because I don't want the water to be violent. I don't want to add to the erosion. I'm going to fill the entire sump pump pit with stone. Don't put any dirt in. Don't put any dirt back. Don't try to skimp on the stone. You're going to have to put in a lot of stone. You can see we were about 4 feet deep. Look at all the stone we're putting in on top of all those pipes. We want to cover all the stone. We want to fully encapsulate the system. If you choose not to use a non-woven geotextile filter fabric, you're going to give your system an early expiration date at the time of installation. This is a really nice look. Natural stone, open French drain, bordering your outdoor living space. I really love it, especially if you have like a woods or a park. You go with like a naturescape type look. This is really nice. I love natural stone. This is your make it or break it right here. All that hard work, all that money and material and labor. And if you don't get this discharge line right, the system does not work right. The system will fail. Pay close attention to the bottom of your trench with your laser transit. You're watching the best in the business right here. These guys, they've been doing it for years. They got thousands of jobs under their belt. Tradesmen, craftsmen, they're meticulous. Their attention to detail, these guys get it right. When you want it done right the first time. Use the very best materials, as shown here, and apply attention to detail to the bottom of your trench. Look at this. You can't even tell that all that excavation took place. It's beautiful. One good rain will clean the dust off the stone. Beautiful job. Meticulous work. Attention to detail. This system's going to stand the test of time. This is how you build an open French drain to last forever, right here. If you have any questions regarding an open French drain system, or any questions regarding an outdoor sump pump system, leave them in the comments section and I'll be sure to answer them. If you found any of this information helpful, give us a thumbs up. It really supports the channel. I'm your host, Robert Sherwood, and until the next video.
Where it's shiny like this, just run a piece of French drain, continue it that way. We're going to grab up, see that deck post, start, just a few feet in from it, 4 feet in from it. This is, there's a bunch of water in the grass right here. So, heck, just start right off that post. Start right off that post. Grab this water all up. Grab all this water up. You can take a T and just go up in there, run your French drain, run your French drain. All right, so don't worry about the tree line, because we're going to try to stay away from the trees as much as we can. So come in here like a U, and then come in here with 2 lines. So 2 French drain trenches, and just run those 2 French drain trenches like this, super deep in there, really deep in there. And then you have your line through here. You're going to be putting your sump system in here. Be smart about it. Go ahead, put it in here. This is real deep through here, guys. It's real deep in here. Probably like, gotta be a good 4 inches of water through here, guys. And then the water ends right here. Come up in here, grab this where it's shiny. Doesn't have to be too deep, it could be shallow. Just giving you a reference point, you can see this brick paver patio back here. Just come in, run a line down in here. This here is a mess, man. This here is a mess. So when you come down here with your line, you just come in here like a U. It's pointless to get too close to that woods. The trees are just gonna ruin the system, so there's no need to run a parallel line that way. So just run this like we talked about earlier in the video, kind of like a U, and go through here with 2 French drains. Go to your sump system. Power is going to be this way, so we're going to be pulling power from over here. So let's do that. And then the discharge,
The first 30 feet of the discharge line was buried, and then the last 100 feet was laying on the woods floor.
I mean, you're going to have a line come up and then over, and it's just going to pour water on the other side of that. So it's...
We could not pump this to the front yard. The front yard is negative slope coming down to the house.
And that's the job, guys. When Mother Nature gives us an opportunity to show you the problem like this, you know, we had 2 days of rain. Look at this. And that's what we're here for, guys. That's why we're here right there. That's what brought us here.
This area is like a bowl. I know a lot of homeowners that can relate to this, where you have a low-lying area, and all the neighbors' water runs into your yard, and your yard all runs into this low area that's bowled. And if you try to pump it uphill, it usually just comes right back down into this bowl area. Well, we don't have no city storm drain. We don't have no ditch out front. Matter of fact, it's uphill out front to the street. And that's where all the water's coming from as well. It's rolling off the street right into this backyard. So we're going to do something that wouldn't be the first thing that you would think about to take care of all this water. Where are we going to pump all this water? What if we pumped it into the woods uphill? What would happen? Would it come back into the yard? Would all that water just roll right back down into the low-lying area? Now, under trees in woods, it's a lot of organic material. All the leaves break down and decompose. All the limbs that fall off the trees break down, decompose. Years and years of this. When you have large trees and you're working under large canopies, you know you're going to have a certain amount of compost. Well, think about that. If over time there's 8 inches of compost in a woods, which that's normal, at least, that's all going to absorb water. But how much water can it absorb? We're going to find out. With this system, we're just going to pump it 130 feet away, uphill, and we're going to let the water just lay there and see if it rolls back into this yard.
So right here is where I was walking through all the water. There was water right down the side of this tennis court. This has been tested. This was thoroughly tested. We had 4 inches of rain now, total. I don't know if we're done, but so far that's where we're at. So we had all this water running along this tennis court. This is non-permeable surface right here. So you're going to shed a lot of water. We started our system over here. We ran our system through here. French drain grid. You can kind of see the line. You can see the French drain there. We got another French drain there. The guys did a great job. I mean, look, there's not even a puddle. They come in here with their laser level. They know how to take the readings. They're true professionals. We don't plug the heater in. We don't plug the heater in. We did leave him with a heater. It's installed. You know, this is what we do here in the north. So we tell them, plug it in December 1st, unplug it, you know, April 1st. There's your instructions, and that's how easy one of our systems that's built for the north, if you build it right, that's how easy it is. That's the only thing you have to do. So look at this. 4 inches of rain. Look at this. All that water that was standing here. What a difference. What a difference. This homeowner got his yard back. Look at that. I couldn't be happier with the results. I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled, and I'm also blessed that we were able to pump it uphill to a location where the ground was permeable. This yard is completely dry. And you can see the tennis court's not even dried up yet, like it just quit raining. We've been running around, we've been looking at a lot of our systems, just doing a wellness visit. Honestly, we typically don't do that, but it was one of those days where it's really odd for us to get 4 inches of rain in Michigan. So when the hurricane brought up all that precipitation, You know, we were just like, let's go see what this stuff looks like. This is fun. We like this. As you guys know, this is drainage porn. So the discharge line runs from there, runs through here, and then right here is where the homeowner, he wanted to take it uphill. And I wasn't sure how I felt about this, to be quite honest with you, but the ground was really permeable and we just got lucky. I'd take luck any day when it comes to, you know, places to discharge the water. There's no infrastructure here. To go out towards the street is going uphill. So yeah, this woods, high ground is high and dry. Well, it's going to be saturated now, but as long as it takes in all the water, that's all that matters. This homeowner's happy. I'm satisfied, and I'm a harder critic than the customer. I'm always super critical of the jobs we do. I'm always trying to find a way that we could make ourselves better. How can we put in better systems? I don't think you can improve on this. 4 inches of rain? I mean, how do you improve on this? This is amazing. I mean, think the water was like about 5 inches deep through here. Yeah, one of the problems people have with our systems is when it's not raining, you're going to need a sprinkler. Because our system's going to work 365 days out of the year. That's a fact. All right, so this is what's going on at the discharge end. The water tells the story. You can see where all the water's at. All this water's from the discharge line. Make no mistake. The rest of the woods and everything behind the homeowner's house is completely dry. There is no water in this woods at all. But there's water right here. This has been cycling. I've seen it go on about 4 or 5 times now. I haven't been here that long.
If you have organic material like this uphill in a woods, think about how much water peat moss absorbs. Organic material will absorb like a sponge. It'll hold a lot of water.
This water is all from this discharge line. So, you know, there's water, you know, throughout. Here, I'll show you. So this is itchweed, so I'm trying not to get, so there's, you know, we're pumping the water up here. This ain't too bad because
this dried out really quick. It's all permeable. Within a couple of days, it absorbed throughout the woods floor.
This is gonna just extend further because the water has been able to be absorbed. There's been a lot of absorption. It is very permeable. You know, this is like the 7th time probably since I've been here. And I ain't been here long. So, I mean, it works. For the most part, our customer's yard is super, super dry. I mean, crazy dry. Like, he doesn't have no puddles where we put the system. He's probably gonna be calling us back because there's a couple areas now that'll bug him that never used to. But I mean dry, completely dry, no water, like ridiculous. But yeah, it's dry as a bone. He just has this laying on the ground. If he's happy, I'm happy, and yeah. This is very permeable soil, without a doubt. But we are pumping so much water in such a high concentration over here that it does, and it's getting lost and it's getting absorbed in this woods area. And some little indentations are acting as little detention areas.
Keep in mind, we have no check valve. When the pump turns on, it's got to fill the entire 130-foot line. We have a really big chamber because once it turns off, it's going to siphon what's left in the line to our chambered outdoor sump pump system. 1/3 horsepower pump, so we don't have any erosion.
Siphon everything that's in that 100-foot line. It'll siphon it back to the chamber. So right now, it turned off, and everything that was in that line, you can hear it gurgling. It's just siphoning back. So you lose, chamber capacity. I'm sure the French drain's taking in water, but yeah, this thing cycles often. It's no longer raining. You can hear it gurgling. It's just gurgling. All the siphoning back, you hear it as the water runs downhill, runs back to the chamber. Me personally, this is not the first place I look to take water is uphill. We had little to no options. So we're probably about 130 feet from the sump pump. We got a pretty decent sized chamber because we don't have a check valve. Because we're here in the north, we know that this whole line will freeze if you leave water in it, so we don't want to do that. And this yard holds a lot of water typically, so I knew we were going to be moving a lot of water. So this water just slowly leaches into the woods. This dirt is fairly permeable up here. Now it makes sense that uphill would be drier ground and that it would absorb to a certain point. If it was clay, I think you're out of luck. But the dirt here is permeable. Obviously, we're able to get it to run into the woods and just get soaked away, just get leached away. Now, this system won't run in the winter. This is not a system that's going to see any kind of running in the winter. This is not a sump pump that's on a foundation drain. It's not a sump pump that's controlling, say, water from a natural spring. This is just during the rainy season.
Right now, it's pushing all the air out of the line. As it pushes the water uphill, it's removing the air from the line.
So you can see how much water this thing cycles. And it's leaching away into the woods. Now there's a lot of trees in here. There's a lot of really big trees in here. So trying to bury this sump pump discharge line wasn't going to be that easy. It was going to come at a cost to the homeowner. And he was satisfied with this. If you're a subscriber to this channel, you know that we don't ever do this where we just leave a sump pump discharge line above ground. But this was the homeowner's request. And this is how he wanted us to run it. That way he always knew where it was, and if he had to move it, he could move it. And that's what's nice about this. If it wasn't taking in all the water and he needed to move it over, he could do that. I'm real happy with what I see.
If you enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up. It supports the channel. If you have any questions regarding this installation, leave them in the comments section. I'm your host, Robert Sherwood, and until the next video.